Right now, I'm joined by Mike Triplett of the Times-Picayune and NOLA.com. Welcome once again. Yeah. And boy, who were those men in black out there on the field today? Because they look like Saints, but not the Saints we've been used to seeing all
Well, it's the opposite. Who are the men in black that from the last 3 weeks? I mean, that's the first thing I wrote after this game was it was sort of uplifting, but more than anything, it was frustrating. And a lot of players agreed. It was like, where was this the last 3 weeks? Because they've always known, and you got to hand it to them, they were like this after their 0-4 start, and they were like this after they were almost eliminated from the playoffs. There's still actually a mathematical possibility, but they have resolve, they have pride, and they have talent. It just makes it all the harder to realize that they're capable of this, and it didn't show up enough this season.
Well, and you bring up a good point because Coach Vitt was talking about it, the players were saying it as well. Stedman. Now we got to start over again.
The whole thing?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Joined now by my good friend Mike Triplett of the Times-Picayune and NOLA.com, who I got to ask you this question. Those guys that were dressed in black today, were those like the Saints we've been looking at all season?
Not the ones we've seen all season. We see them we see glimpses of them, but yeah, I think this is closer to the real thing, or it used to be. But it's the first thing I wrote today. That's what was so frustrating about watching this performance is where was this 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, or last week when they really needed it? It's the players kind of shared that sentiment in the locker room. You do have to hand it to them though. They've got the resolve, they've got the pride, and they've got the talent, and they know it. And that's why they came back after an 0-4 start. And that's why they still showed this today when they could have thrown in the towel. We kind of saw Tampa Bay throw in the towel after their own playoff hopes were dashed last week. But it just adds to the frustration of the whole season, knowing how good they can be and that it just wasn't there enough this year.
Well, I found it interesting, too, that Coach Joe Vitt and all the players that we talked to said they changed absolutely nothing in preparation for this game today, nothing off the routine that they always have.
Yeah, and it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I picked him to win. I'll probably pick them to win the next two. I mean, when they're good, they're so good. And it's hard to put your finger on why they've been so inconsistent in each individual loss this year. But I didn't expect a shutout from this defense, and I didn't expect such a clean performance from the offense. But no individual performance surprised me because we know that these guys are capable of all the things they did.
And how nice was it defensively to see the young guys coming through, turning in big plays? Abdul Kaddus, Bush, Cam Jordan came up with a couple of big plays out there. Jonathan Casillas told us that we're playing more and thinking less, and that's a good thing.
And look, we've been talking about that with the defense throughout the second half of the season, really. Playing more, thinking less, going just on talent and instinct and being aggressive and attacking. The defense, that's one thing that actually I think can carry over into 2013, is that defense has made a steady improvement. Boy, it was so bad to start this year. And they didn't waver, and they kind of stuck to the plan. And we've seen it from individuals. Cam Jordan, another sack fumble today, now has 8 sacks this year. The guys making the interceptions. Obviously, Curtis Lofton in the middle. They've got a lot of guys who they can build on going forward on that defense. Still not world beaters week in and week out, but real positives that they can build off of.
Well, we all know that it would be very easy for a team in this position to say, you know what, we'll get them next year. But that's certainly not the case with the Saints. That's not their makeup.
Right, yeah. I use that, the old motto is wait till next year with the Saints, and we haven't heard that, and they haven't relied on that in a long time. And unfortunately, that's sort of what they're playing for and building off of. But yeah, that's what the guys kind of said. They think it can carry over into next year, but that's not why they're doing it. They're doing it because if they've got a game, they want to win it.
Right. They want to play the game. Thoughts on Dallas next week? They won a tough overtime game tonight.
Yeah, now there's a team. I mean, it's going to have that playoff-like atmosphere. Like we said, the Saints don't sort of need the false motivation, but it's going to be there next week in Dallas. Their season on the line, probably like an elimination game for them, the way the NFC East is so tight right now. And obviously sort of a natural rivalry there, not a divisional rivalry, but the two teams have faced each other a bunch, and they have a lot going, against each other over the years. So I think the atmosphere will be, it's a playoff game for only one team, but the atmosphere will be that way for both teams.
And we were talking about it before we went on camera. It's been that type of year for the Saints. Yeah. Nothing's been easy. They can't even get eliminated.
No, they're still alive. So here's how I think we have it figured. They just need Dallas, the Bears, the Vikings, the Giants to all lose twice and St. Louis to lose once, and they're in if they win their last two.
It's math. It sounds hard.
Exactly.
Mike Triplett of the Times Picayune and NOLA.com. Thanks very
All right,
much.
thank you.